traditional weddings. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí ẹ̀yin tèmi nílé lóko lẹ́yìn òde. Mo kára lé, mo kérò ọ̀nà, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kọ́mọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà wípé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí lórí ètò wa ètò yín ètò kan náà tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí ètò ìgbéyàwó. Mo fẹ́ fàsìkò ìtọrọ gáfárà wípé ó pẹ́ wá díẹ̀ ká tó wọlé lénìí. We are so sorry. It's a little bit, we are behind schedule today due to some unforeseen circumstances. I really do apologize. I think we're about 2-3 minutes late, so we do apologize about that. Kó tó di pé aṣọ nǹkan gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa lórí ètò yìí, a fẹ́ júbà ọba kọ́dá ayé, ọba ṣẹ̀dá ọ̀run, ọba lánàá, ọba lénìí, ọba títí ayérayé kọrin kése, ẹlẹ́bùrú ìkẹ́, ọba tó tó ní ipa tó pọ̀ tí ò pani tó ń pani mọ́, ọba tá a dágbére fún lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá pé à ń lọ kábọ̀ tó tún jẹ́ kó ṣeé ṣe fún èmi àtẹ̀yin láti tún wà ń bí lénìí láyé láàyè àti láyé rere. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ní Ọlọ́run ìyanu, àwọn òun fáyọ̀ bí òṣọpẹ́, ọ̀pọ̀ ọjọ́ ló sì rọ̀ sílẹ̀ ti fi mú kì í ṣe nípa ipá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kì í ṣe nípa agbára láti fi wà láyé lénìí láti fi wà láàyè ògo ìyìn ọlá òní forúkọ mímọ́ yín. Mo tún fẹ́ fi àsìkò yìí náà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn iléeṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣagbátẹrù ètò yìí, pàápàá jùlọ iléeṣẹ́ Chorus Joys and Laces, iléeṣẹ́ tó tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ níbi tó ti ń taṣọ ìyàwó tìyá ìyàwó lẹ́fẹ́ ni tọ́mọ ìyàwó lẹ́fẹ́ ni tọkùnrin tóbìnrin wọ́n wà ní iléeṣẹ́ Chorus Joys and Laces. Thank you so much Chorus Joys and Laces for your support. First àsìkò náà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ iléeṣẹ́ Celebration International Magazine. Celebration International Magazine. If you want your event on the magazine or you want a photographer or a videographer, please contact Celebration International Magazine. Then Celebration International Magazine will do your event perfectly well. Also, we want to appreciate the amazing Royal Vogue. This is from Royal Vogue. They sell ready to wears. Royal Vogue, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you. Also, I want to appreciate the amazing First Rate Global in Shagamu, Ogun State for their support. First Rate Global, where you can buy land, properties, they will help you to even build your property if you want. Or if you want like advice and support, please contact First Rate Global. They are on Instagram as First Rate Global. I want to appreciate the amazing people that have joined me tonight. But I want to talk about Yawo Baba, Eku Gbogbo. Thank you so much, my darling sister and wifey. We really appreciate you. Thank you for being here from day one. I want to appreciate Fabulous Funky and so many other people that are joining me and those that are going to join me on this show tonight. I really do want to appreciate you. And I also want to use this opportunity to apologize that we're not on Facebook tonight. Due to circumstances beyond our control, Facebook is not on tonight. So if you know anyone that would normally want to watch this show on Facebook, can you please help me to tell them to come on Instagram? In fact, me Nipuro eni ó ṣàkàn ṣe bákọ̀bákan ni mo ní ṣe torí pé but I fẹ́ sọ lẹ́ni ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó I don't even know, but we thank God anyway. We are on Facebook, we're on YouTube and we're on Instagram, but tonight we are not on Facebook. Please help me to say to people. I don't know if it's possible to, let me see. I'm trying to see what I can do. Please also do me a favor, do remind people that the show has started. As many people that you can remind, please remind them. I know a lot of people would love to be on this show tonight, especially with this topic that we are treating tonight. It's so important. It's very, very important. We need to talk about things that can affect us and our family or our marriage even after we have left. So ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce the topic, I just want to play a short song that we all know, just to introduce the topic, then we can move swiftly to the topic tonight. So please bear with me while I bring up the music. It's a very popular one that we all know. So I was trying as much as possible to look for a song that would fit in, but I couldn't find it. But I brought this on forward anyway. So let's just enjoy. Like that, ladies and gentlemen. Gbogbo alamorin yìí, gbogbo apapata la mọ̀ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ, It's something that is so important to some of us, a lot of us actually. And the topic we are talking about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's something that can affect our offsprings. And when we're talking about not necessarily maybe maybe someone that you adopt, maybe somebody that you just love and you decided to make your own child. And a lot of times, if we watch movies and all of that, we will see that they portray to us all the time in movies that a family will be so wealthy, they will be so happy, they will they will have everything, and then maybe the father, the head of the family, just pass on, and before you know it, the whole family that used to be very, very wealthy, that used to live very, very comfortably, you see them on the street begging for alms, or even now come to like zero level of poverty, as in the level of poverty is so bad. I'm talking about minus, and you'll be wondering, from that to this, how did it happen? So we're talking about the topic, putting your house in order. Put your house in order. Put your house in order. Sometimes we get carried away by the activities of this world that we tend to forget things that are so important to us. How can it affect a family in a marriage where you don't put your house in order? I mean, why are people not putting their house in order? And then when we're talking about putting your house in order, we're talking about who is your next of kin. We are talking about will writing. We're talking about getting the proper documentation for your properties. We're talking about ensuring that when you're gone, that the right people have access to your property. It's so important. Very, very, very important. It's so something that has caused a lot of havoc and pains for the family that we struggle to. Because oh mommy, when we are alive, my child, oh mommy, and then God forbid anything happen, and these children will leave them to suffer. That's what we are looking at. Now, let's start from here, people. Please, let me hear you talk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start from the issue of putting your house in order, and starting from the issue of who is your next of kin, or who is the next of kin. When we say next of kin, what are we talking about? When we talk about next of kin, what are we talking about? Because I have a clip here that will probably play for us later. But for now, I would love to just let us talk about this. Meanwhile, let me inform us a good news. I want to introduce a new segment to this show called What Would You Do? What would you do? WWYD. And that segment, I have been hearing or seeing people sending me messages in my inbox. I can send me message, one hour fair advice. Money, marriage counselor. Some people just say, sis, this and this happen. If I want to do something, what do you think I should do? Me, I'm not a marriage counselor. I've been turning down that for a very long time. Then somebody just said to me, look, even if you don't have advice for this people, you can bring it on your show, maybe for the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Throw the situation open. You never know who's going to advise that person here, that the person will actually benefit from. So if we have enough time today, we will bring that segment on. If not, we will start from next week by the grace of God. Okay, my people, we are here. I can see there are people here. There's only 4 people online at the moment. Please do me a favor, share this show, remind people, tell people that we normally watch on Facebook that we are not on Facebook tonight due to circumstances beyond my control. We are not on Facebook tonight. Maybe when I finish this, I can actually share it to Facebook eventually, but we are not on Facebook tonight. I would like to hear from you. I know a lot of people are still going to join the show towards the end, and most of the time they now start dragging us back and say, what are you talking about? This is so important, this is not important. Please remind people that the show has started, because to me, I don't know about other people, it's so important. So ladies and gentlemen, let's start by talking about who is the next of kin. When we say next of kin, who is the next of kin? What do we mean by the term next of kin? If you know or you know anyone that knows that could be a blessing or that could shed light on this topic, please bring them on board. If you know anyone that that they can say things, maybe they are like professionals in this area. I was actually looking for a guest for this show, but I couldn't find anybody at the moment. But maybe if we're able to, we may be able to bring this back next week. So kin won't the next of kin. I want the next of kin. Somebody is the next of kin to somebody. who is that person? What are the roles of that person? What is that person supposed to do when this person is no longer here? Please, let's talk about this, and let's take it on from there. I know there are people online. I can see there's a few people online, so please don't let us be quiet on this. Let's talk about this. Who is a next of kin, and what are the roles of a next of kin while I'm alive and while I'm not alive? What is a next of kin supposed to do? What is the responsibility of a next of kin? Who should I make my next of kin? These are the things that we're talking about tonight. And if I don't hear from you, okay, I will say with my own little understanding. I will talk with my own little understanding, but I will actually love to hear from you first. If we say somebody is a next of kin, who is a next of kin? When we talk about putting your house in order, knowing your next of kin, putting the right person to be your next of kin, we need to first of all know who a next of kin is. So important. So if you're on this show tonight and you understand the term put your house in order, or you understand the term next of kin, that's what we're talking about. So please, people, thank you for joining me. Eluyemi, God bless you, ma. Welcome on board. Pebbles and Cocos, thank you for joining. God bless you, ma. Instagram, thank you so much for joining. So tonight we're talking about putting your house in order. Yeah, putting your house in order. We're talking about the issue of next of kin, will writing, putting the right documentations to your property, you know, and making sure that things are in order. You know, that's what we are talking about. And we are starting from the term next of kin. And I was asking a question for those of us that are just joining us. I was saying, who is a next of kin? Who can we refer to as a next of kin? That's what we're talking about tonight. Who is a next of kin? And why do I need a next of kin anyway? I mean, things like that we need to talk about. So something that would help us to have an understanding of this. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. Kemostik, I really appreciate you, sis. Olori Jayelo, thank you so much for joining. Mama Yawo Baba says next of kin is your closest living blood relative. Okay. I like the term next of kin is close relatives. Close relatives. Close relatives. Well, I like the term close relatives. Somebody that you can vouch for, that you can put down on a document that this person is my next of kin. Thank you so much, ma, Mama Yodile, and thank you so much, ma, Iyawo Baba. Now, next of kin is meant to be close relative. Thank you, ma. Iyawo Baba say closest living blood relative. Okay. So if I have a sibling, or because my sibling is supposed to be one of the closest people to me, or I have a husband, so automatically does that make them qualify to be my next of kin? Does that make them qualify to be my next of kin? Because we're talking about close relatives. So I was looking for a particular word to qualify that close relative. I'm looking for a particular word to qualify them. So if you know, you can shed more light on this issue of next of kin. It's a bit way. Ọlọ́run kó ṣàánú fún wa. Wọ́n ṣe bí bàbá kò lè dàbí bàbá, wọ́n ṣe bí ìyá ò lè ever dàbí ìyá láéláé. In fact, God forbid, if anything happens to someone and the person passed away, you will see relatives saying, "Má worry, nǹkan tí ìyá ò lè ṣe fún ẹ máa ṣe fún ẹ. Nǹkan tí bàbá ò lè ṣe fún ẹ máa ṣe fún ẹ." They are right. It's true. Nítorí pé ìyá ò lè fìyà jẹ, wọ́n máa fìyà jẹ ńtàn. Bàbá ò lè fìyà jẹ, wọ́n máa lè fìyà jẹ ńtàn. So if they tell you that what your mother cannot do for you, don't worry, I will do it for you, they're actually right. Now, talking about next of kin. Next of kin, we've qualified them to be close relative, probably closest relative. But I was looking for a particular word that to qualify that close relative. Thank you for joining me, the fabulous. For the sake of that, I just joined us. I'm just running through this again. Tonight we are talking about putting your house in order as a married couple. Putting your house in order. Now we're talking about next of kin. We're talking about who is a next of kin. I love that, Iyawo Baba. Thank you, ma. Who is a next of kin? Who should be your next of kin? Now, God bless you, the fabulous. Iyawo Baba said, trustworthy close relative. Trustworthy close relative. Mommy Ayodele says, it also means someone you will like to be contacted in emergency. Thank you, ma. Someone that you trust. You know, yeah, Baba, thank you for reminding the fabulous. God bless you, ma. And thank you so much. Please, You see, this is the power of reminding people. Please remind people if they forgot. People sometimes forget. Yeah, especially Nigerians, because we are now in two different. We are now, our time is now different. Yeah, the closest person to you, someone you trust. Yes, that's the next of kin. Now, we're talking about someone close to you, someone that you trust, someone that can be contacted in case of emergency. And can I now ask us, under what circumstance do we need to put anything down? Where can I, if somebody wants to contact my next of kin, how do they know? Where do I put that information? Where can we put information about our next of kin? For example, Mama Adele said, it's someone that is close to you that you trust, and it's someone that can be contacted in case of emergency. So where will I put that information? Where are the places that I need to put information about my next of kin? Yes, thank you, the fabulous. One is someone very, very reliable. Let me read what Instagram says. She said, it depends on the situation. Sometimes close family don't live up to the trust we wish to have in them. That was why I wanted us to qualify the word close relative. It's not being a close relative is not enough for someone to be qualified to be your next of kin. It has to be someone you trust. It has to be someone that is reliable. It has to be someone that when you are here or you are not here, they can actually be vouched for, they can stand for you. Thank you, ma. Mommy Odele says places where we can put our next of kin will be places like employment firms, hospitals. Mommy, thank you, God bless, ma. Your next of kin might not necessarily be your spouse. Thank you, ma. The fabulous says someone very, very reliable. Now let me read this, let me play this clip for us. I know some of us probably received the clip, but I'll play it again. Because most of the time we Africans, especially Yoruba people, we are always very positive. We don't like talking about anything negative. We forget that, well, whether we talk about it or not, it doesn't stop anything from happening. God forbid that anything bad should happen. But the last thing you want to happen is when you have labored so much and the thing that you have labored for get to the wrong hand. Let me play this clip for us to be able to kind of call our attention to this issue of next of kin. Now give me a second. Let me just bring that out. Sorry, because I won't cut out. So what it costs a lot of wahala. You know, I will be male. I'm telling you, a lot of serious wahala. Now let me play this. Please let me know if you can hear it.
Alarming to find that many.
Sorry. Clear.
To find that many people do not put their spouses next of kin.
I interviewed a policewoman who said her husband died, and then by the time she wanted to claim everything, he had given it to his brother as next of kin.
It's so common. This is why the money conversations have to happen. We have some traditional baggage. The olden days, I suppose the reason why you had the brother as next of kin was to assume that he would take care of the extended family. Another difficult one is many companies have this next of kin form. Some people don't give it back to their staff every year to update. You've even forgotten what you wrote. I know of a man who had put his father as next of kin. He was a single man, and then he got married, was working for a major bank, and he had 3 children, he was doing very well, and he died. He had no will. Next of kin went to his father.
You see, this, I'm going to play it one more time so that we can grab. I hope we can hear it. Can we hear it, please? Can we hear it?
To find that many people do not put their spouses next of kin.
I interviewed a policewoman who said her husband died, and then by the time she wanted to claim everything, he had given it to his brother as next of kin.
It's so common. This is why the money conversations have to happen. We have some traditional baggage. The olden days, I suppose the reason why you had the brother as next of kin was to assume that he would take care of the extended family. Another difficult one is many companies have this next of kin form. Some people don't give it back to their staff every year to update. You've even forgotten what you wrote. I know of a man who had put his father as next of kin. He was a single man, and then he got married, was working for a major bank, and he had 3 children, he was doing very well, and he died. He had no will. Next of kin went to his father.
You see, now let's talk about, there's a few things that these people had mentioned. We've said that a next of kin should be someone that is well trusted, a close family member that you trust, which is right, you know. And sometimes, you know, like what these people are talking about now, somebody's talking about somebody giving his brother the right to be the next of kin before he got married. Someone gave his father the right to be his next of kin before he got married. Obviously because he trusted the father, and then he gave everything to his father. Unfortunately, he actually passed on before his father, and he never remembered to take that away from the father to the spouse. Now, remember that we've also said that it doesn't necessarily mean that your spouse should be your next of kin. Anybody that you trust could be your next of kin. Someone that you know that when I'm gone, this person will be able to give my property and everything to those that deserve to have it. And also, it has also been said that someone that can be contacted in emergency. Now, we're not even talking about death alone. We talk about so many other things. Next of kin, someone that if I'm in trouble or if I find myself in an emergency, someone that when they contact them, they can quickly rise up for us. Now, talking about the fact that you gave somebody your you put someone down as your next of kin, and years later you don't even remember. Do you know that some people, if they ask them today, who is your next of kin, who did you put down as your next of kin, they don't remember. They don't remember because the form has been filled long time ago. In fact, when I heard this, it actually crossed my mind that even me, the people that I put down in my son's school, my daughter's school as emergency, are people that no longer live around. This thing actually opened my eyes, and I'm like, in case of emergency and then they can't reach me, they can't reach my husband, who is the person that actually put down in my son's school as someone to be contacted? You know, when I traced it, I realized it's someone that doesn't live nearby anymore. It was someone that used to be close to me, and they don't live nearby anymore. Now, this brings us to the next thing we're going to be talking about. How often should I update my next of kin? The fabulous said, what I learned from that clip is always update your form. Thank you. How often should you update your form? Check some things that you don't even know. Some people, when they pass or when something happened, they suddenly discover a lot of things. They themselves are like, I can't even remember that I did that. You know, that's how serious it is to make sure that you get the right thing done. So, me personally, I think it's something that I need to do. Now, let's talk about people that actually have their spouses, and yet they allow their spouses are there. Well, let's forget about the person that got married. Somebody got married, and then before he got married, he has given the next of kin to his father or his brother. And then when he got married, he didn't even think, he didn't remember that he needed to update that. That's a different case. Let's talk about people that have spouses. Well, you know your spouse, and I know my spouse. So, and we've already established the fact that your spouse does not necessarily have to be your next of kin. If you have any doubt, or if for whatever reason you think, I don't trust them, I can't give my next of kin, I can't leave this person as my next of kin for in case of when I'm no longer here. But what could make that happen in a marriage anyway? It's just lack of trust, you know. And like you said, it should be updated regularly. Thank you, ma. It should be regulated. Yeah, Facebook. We are not on Facebook, ma. I don't know what happened. I mean, it's a long story. We're not on Facebook. I'm so sorry. I apologize. So that's why I said people should please let me remind people that, they will look for us on Facebook. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, but we're not on Facebook tonight. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. But I will explain. I will sort that out later. I'm so sorry. God bless you for coming on Instagram. Simbosti, God bless you, Mauluri. Simbosti, God bless you. God bless you, Mommy Susan Alaga. Tonight, for those of us that are just joining, what we are talking about is putting your house in order. Put your house in order. Put your house in order. If you don't put your house in order, you're going to find, God forbid, So, and we are talking about the issue of next of kin. The issue of next of kin. So, who is your next of kin? Who should be your next of kin? These are the things we're talking about tonight. And we don't want to waste too much time on that. Keep going back to the same thing. But many people have said tonight that a next of kin is a close relative that you trust. A next of kin is a close relative that you can rely on to put your house in order when you are no longer here. And we've talked about the fact that how often should you update your form as next. I want to say the form. Can you remember when you put down in your office, who you put down in your workplace as your next of kin? Can you remember? Some people don't even remember anymore. So it's something that we should update all the time. We need to update it all the time. So please. After this show, I hope that we will all go back and check. We've played a clip where somebody said, somebody actually put his father as next of kin before he got married. He got married, have 3 children, and he forgot to change the next of kin. You know, he forgot, you know, and you know what that means now, especially where we come from. Now, let's move on from there. Let's talk about will writing. Yeah, somebody said, wow, but marriage is based on trust. Why wouldn't you trust your spouse? Yes, that is a normal circumstance. I like that question actually. Why wouldn't you trust your spouse? Under normal circumstances, in a situation of normalcy, your spouse should be the best, the most trusted person. Well, my darling sister, unfortunately, the world we live in now is so sad that things happen. So, and nobody can know your spouse more than you. Nobody can know your spouse more than you. The person that refuses to trust their spouse might have good reason for that. And also, some people don't have good reasons for not trusting their spouse. I'm sorry to say, most men, they fall in this category. Please put me straight if I'm going the wrong direction. I don't know why. For some reason, especially our men, they have this trust to their extended family, which is like siblings and all, rather than their spouse. I don't know why. They just have this at the back of their mind that Obìnrin. Please put me straight if I'm wrong. Why do men not trust their wives? Most women will probably just not think about it. The first person they will talk about when it comes to being next of kin or somebody they can trust will definitely be their spouse. But it's not always the same in case of men. Why are men like that? And it pains me when I don't see men on this show. So come and defend themselves. Why is that one man prefer to trust the family, extended family members more than their and their spouses? Well, that's another question. Is emergency contact the same as next of kin? Not necessarily. Sometimes I think they can be the same. You can have the same person as your emergency contact, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are your next of kin. And it can also be possible to have that same person if they are available, if they know they can be reachable in case of emergency. But obviously it is not necessary that they have to be the same person. Thank you for asking that question, the fabulous. Àwọn olójú kò mú kò lọ will share their wife's will with another woman. It's very heartbreaking. Somebody said, it's the world we live in. Sometimes it's not even the spouse directly, but extended. Now, what are the problems that can come when you don't use your spouse? Or even if you cannot use your spouse as your next of kin, I believe when you have a child that is to a certain age of consent, as in adult age, 18, they should be able to at least thank you. Sometimes you have different ones for different reasons. That's another way to look at it. You can have different ones for different reasons. That's actually another way to look at it. Now, let's talk about why people don't use their spouses or immediate family members as their next of kin. I want to know. I'm curious. Why will anybody have somebody that is like an extended family as their next of kin? As their next of kin. I'm just curious. Why will anybody want to have somebody who is not your immediate family, not your wife, not your children, not your husband? You just maybe like siblings or extended family as their next of kin. Why would anybody want to have that? Why? I don't understand it. Let's talk about that. Then now, we're going to move on from this next of kin issue, and we're going to go to the issue of will writing. Yawo Baba said these days and time, you are allowed to have more than one next of kin, which I think is better. Okay, I'm learning that for the first time, which is good. So this is the thing about coming here. When I come here, I always learn new things. You can have more than one next of kin, which is good. So you can have more than one next of kin. How does that work? I like to learn more. How does that work? How does having more than one next of kin work? Is that not going to cause trouble when you are, look, a lot of people don't like talking about when you are gone. But one day, whether we like it or not, we will be gone. I can't gone too soon, whether young or old or whatever, things are happening. You don't want your hard-earned money or hard-earned property to end up in the wrong hand, and you don't want the people that you care about to suffer. So, Iyawo Baba, do you know, can you shed more light? How can somebody have more than one next of kin? And what is the implication? If I have more than one next of kin, would that not cause confusion? Who would they now contact? Who will give authority? Who will give consent or whatever in case I'm not here? While I'm waiting for Iyawo Baba to respond on that, let's talk about will writing. Will writing as a couple. Will writing as a couple. I mean, when you're talking about will writing, you know, some couples own their properties together. They jointly own all their properties. There are some couples like that, and there are some couples not for any reason, not because of trust, not because of anything. It's just their own style that they choose. Some couples have kind of way of owning properties. So in the situation like that, what about will writing? Why is it that our Africans, especially Yoruba people, we don't like talking about will writing? Why don't we like talking about will writing? Number one. Number two, how when is too soon or when is too late? How do I even put it? How come how early can somebody decide to write will? And if you've written your will, how often should you revisit it and get things, you know, just reviewed? You know, remember that you can call me on this show, people. If you have experience, if you know someone that has been in the situation like this, how did they resolve it? How can we learn from them? For the sake of those that just joined us, I'm going to play that clip again. For the sake of those that just joined, I'll just play that clip. It's just about 1 minute or 1.5 minutes clip. Let me just play that clip again. Let me play it again.
Alarming to find that many people do not put their spouses next of kin.
I interviewed a policewoman who said her husband died, and then by the time she wanted to claim everything, he had given it to his brother as next of kin.
It's so common. This is why the money conversations have to happen. We have some traditional baggage. The olden days, I suppose the reason why you had the brother as next of kin was because assumed that he would take care of the extended family. Another difficult one is many companies have this next of kin form. Some people don't give it back to their staff every year to update. You've even forgotten what you wrote. I know of a man who had put his father as next of kin. He was a single man, and then he got married, was working for a major bank, and he had 3 children. He was doing very well, and he died. He had no will. Next of kin went to his father.
You see, now for those of us that are just joining, the things we are talking about here tonight, how soon is too soon or how late is too late to write your will? When you're writing your will, should you do it jointly or everybody should do their own? And you know, why is it that our people don't like writing will? They don't even like talking about it. They don't like talking about will writing. They don't like talking about life insurance. Why? You know, because even in movies, I'm a Yoruba movie, and my family they are doing very well. And once the daddy die or somebody die, then a commander of family talk about going to penury. They could hardly feed themselves. They won't have roof over their heads. All of a sudden, just that daddy, this house belongs to daddy, and some people will just turn up and be like, this house does not belong to your daddy. What if what should you keep? What kind of information should you give your family about your financial states? You know, I don't know. I really don't know. This thing is a little bit of a burden in my heart. I don't know how many people feel the same. You know, if you don't own something, especially back in Nigeria, when people think, daddy me, and daddy now pass on, they claim the company back, they claim the house back, they claim everything back. Or somehow, some family members suddenly turn up and they start saying, daddy, bini, you know, will writing, information. How soon should somebody write their will? What is wrong in will writing? Why are people running away from will writing? Let's talk about it. Now, let me read what Iyawo Baba said. He said, these days and time, you are allowed to have, okay, I think I read that one. Let me read this one. It says, nobody plans for bad things. Benio, nobody plans for bad things, though. But Yoruba says, but okay, ayale yani beni okole koni, but your children are yours. Meaning, at least even if you don't care about the spouse, you should care about the children, because the children are very, very important. This is what we are saying. And that's why we played that song at the beginning. At the beginning, at least we produce these children, you know. Then the organization I work for allowed us to have more than one next of kin. It says there, oh, okay. It says there, Lee and others. That's good. That is really good. They think will writing is for people going to die. That is where we are going. Hello, Maje. God forbid. When you will family, you know, it doesn't mean you're going to die. It just means you're putting your house in order. They don't want to talk about the will when there is no will to share. Okay, that's another one. Then even if it whatever thing your banning, you know, repay for wrong, you pay your cost like table you, table to move in the dining table you, and no matter how small what you have, I think you should still put your house in order. It's very important. Some people, as soon as they pass on, everything they have just scatter. You know, as couples, the clip we played, there's need for us to talk about certain things. How often do you and your spouse discuss these things? Some spouse, if you raise it, in fact, oh my cost wala no le ogun de niyen. Why are you talking about will? Why are you talking about property? They start suspecting the woman, or the woman starts suspecting the man. Then the issue of what is it called now? The issue of life insurance. You know, some people don't even this. I know someone that passed away, and the spouse did not know that he had life insurance until he suffer, because he didn't tell the spouse. So what's the point of you having a life insurance and you didn't tell your spouse about it, or you didn't tell the people that are supposed to know? Even if you don't want to tell your spouse, because like we said, elomi o ti rare that spouse je bóyá ó ti mọ̀ yí pé jẹgúdú jẹrá ni lójú ayé mi gan ó fẹ́ jẹ mí máyé. Some people actually are like that. I'm telling you, there are some people that are in a relationship that the trust issue is there, or maybe the spouse, especially women, maybe you get to know that this man has another family somewhere that he's raising. You know, sometimes that could be the reason why a woman probably will not want to use his husband as a next of kin, or will not want to write a will with them. The family said, I told them to, let me read this. I told them to cremate me. Please don't buy pussy. This is in my will. Or bring you to assume you. And then he says, and donate my organs to those that need it. It doesn't mean she's gonna die young. That's what you want. Say it. I know that organ donor thing again, you know. That organ donor thing again. You know that there is a law now in the UK. I don't know how many of us are aware of that. They said if you don't have it, the form, you can go to your GP and say whether or not you want your organ to be donated. You know that's another thing that people don't want to talk about. No, they said there is a law now that, God forbid, if anything happens and there is no written document to say that whether or not you want your organ to be donated, automatically they will harvest that person's organ to help those that need it. So all these hey, Holy Ghost fire, please. Sometimes it doesn't work in all of these things. So if there's any one of us watching this show and you have not done that, that's part of putting your house in order. If you do not want your organ to be donated, please go to your GP, ask for the form and fill it. I don't know whether it is true or not. Somebody said, I think in the UK, will writing start from 18 plus. So will writing start from 18 plus. There's nothing wrong in writing your will. If your spouse wants to do a joint one with you, that's fine. If he doesn't want to do a joint one with you, do it yourself. Especially nowadays that we have some men that have some extra marital whatever outside. If you want your children to be comfortable, it's okay for you to kind of make sure you do all this thing. Thank you for joining us, ma. Auntie Eniola Laga, God bless you. Thank you, Katidowo by Susie. Thank you so much, ma. Aria Susie. Thank you for joining us. So I will just quickly recap again. We're talking about putting your house in order. We're talking about the issue of next of kin. If you're working for an organization and your next of kin that you fill the form since you joined the organization 10 years ago, go and check Is that still the person you still want? We played a clip where somebody passed away with 3 kids and a wife, but he has made his father his next of kin because he started doing that job before he was married. And then when they wanted to give everything, they handed it over to the dad. Whether the dad gave to the family, I don't know. But the problem now is, how would you feel as a wife, getting to know that your husband of 15 years actually happens to put his father as his next of kin at work? That is it. That alone will make the woman want to kind of, get really angry and be like, kilo shele. So we need to put that at the back of our mind, and we need to check regularly. We've talked about will writing. What is wrong in will writing? From age 18, you can write your own will. This is the way I want things done when I'm no longer here. It doesn't mean you're going to die. In fact, irú wọn ló máa ń kọ́ talking kú. Gbogbo àwọn pé Holy Ghost fire. It doesn't mean anything. Ọlọ́run ló mẹ́ni tó máa pé àdúrà là ń gbà, gbogbo à ń gbà pé lágbára Ọlọ́run ká má bá wọn kúkú ọ̀wọ́wọ́, ká má kúkú rewerewe. But then putting your house in order is very important, especially with our African community. It's so important, especially if you have things back home. Have things back home. You have things here. In this country, they go by the letter. In Kotori, normal follow exactly what you write down. What is there is what they will follow, no matter how much the person may prove. But I'm the next of kin, I'm the wife, I'm supposed to, So we need to actually understand that. Then we're talking about the issue of life insurance. There's nothing wrong in doing life insurance. If you do life insurance, please it's part of putting your house in order. There's absolutely nothing wrong. There's actually nothing wrong in doing all these things. It doesn't mean we are going to die young. Then then talking about having the right documentation for your properties, whether here or in Nigeria. In fact, when they pass on, you realize that it's like not paying at all, not even buying mortgage at all, because it be by the tiny letters in this country, they can kill. I know that our people, the worst thing about our Nigerian people, especially our Yoruba people, is that we don't read. We don't read though. We don't read. I am guilty of that, because I don't read. I always ask someone that love reading to help me read. But mean by this, that's what we're saying now. The Fabulous, God bless you. If you need help with life insurance, contact the Fabulous. You said you have good consultants. That's good. In fact, one of the reasons that people don't do this thing is because they don't know who to go to. So that's another thing. Thank you for the Fabulous. So people, if we have anybody on this show tonight that you're here to write you're here to have life insurance, and you want someone that can put you through, and that's a good recommendation. At least the Fabulous will be told, she will help us. She will make sure that she guide you to the right people. And then please, people, I want to beg us, let us read the small letters. And another thing is, those of us that are building houses back home, we have to be careful as well. Make sure that you have the proper documentation. Ìwé lèmìrè tó dé Nàìjíríà báyìí wà láì wọ́n ti ta gbogbo ẹ̀, because ìwé tó wà lọ́wọ́ is fake. That's why we have to be careful. Who do we trust with all these things? Who do we put in place to help us or to represent us in times of when I'm no longer here? I have seen properties that are wasting away. They are there. They're just wasting away. Because there's no proper documentation and nobody cares to go into it. And also, we need to bear in mind that all this issue that we're talking about doesn't mean that somebody's going to die young. Májẹ̀mú pé máa kún kékeré, mi ò dẹ̀ ní kún kékeré, kò sí ọ̀kan nípa tó máa kún kékeré. Bí mo ṣe wà kò sí kú lójú mi, wàhálà Amẹ́ríkà ni mo kùn. But let us put our house in order. It's very important. Let's talk about it. If you don't understand certain things, let's talk about. Sometimes, some of us, we just get so busy that we don't even remember to talk about these things. In fact, when I was bringing this topic up, I was a little bit skeptical. But hey, because I want to jẹ̀yà ti jẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pápá nílùú yìí. You know, we won't die. None of us will die. But let us put our house in order. As I speak to you, don't look at me and say, ah, Obrinton, sorry. She must have done me or this shake. I'm telling you, it was when this thing was laid upon my heart, I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. And then when I talk about this is going to help me to want to actually do the right thing. At least I cannot talk all this talking and not do the right thing. Instagram, please stop now. I'm trying to accept somebody into the show. But then she buy. Why? It's not allowing me to accept it. Go live with the fabulous. Let me send the request to you, sis. Maybe that will work. Oh God, could Bamilaye. Let me send you the request. Okay. I don't know why Instagram is doing this on my show. I go on people's show now and they accept me. Bro, let me see if I can. Sorry guys, I'm trying to accept the request that was sent. Let me invite you, sis. If you see my invite, please accept. Maybe that will work. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put it in mind. Let's put it in mind. It's so important. Since I sent you a request, hope that will work. God bless you. Thank you so much. Aubrey, what did you do, Aubrey? This one is always on the road. The fabulous.
It's because Tuesday your show, that's when I go to the office. So
God bless you. I appreciate you, sis. God bless you. Everybody say hello, the fabulous. Yeah.
Hello.
How are you, sis?
I quickly want to mention about the life insurance.
Yeah.
Most people wait till something is wrong.
Yeah.
And let me tell you the difference between the two. When I tried to sign somebody on for a life insurance, the person fell ill because the person was in the process of stealing the life insurance. So at the point that the person got ill, there's a part that you feel that have you got any disease or sickness or something. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure and everything, your premium would increase compared to somebody that doesn't have anything. So now that you're ill and healthy, life insurance. So that by the time you're ill, the difference between those, and even some companies, they don't want to sign you on because it's like you are bukata for them. They don't know what's up with you. They don't know the difference. So the ones that will now sign you up, they add the premium rate. So now that you're ill and healthy, everything is going on well for you, please kindly do your life insurance. That doesn't mean you're gonna die. You know, I always talk about will on this program. That my mom has been shouting about that and everything. Will, life insurance, they help a lot. Not because of sometimes it's because of the people that you're leaving behind as well. Like, so that there's orderliness and everything. So that's why I just wanted to point out about the importance of that life insurance. Now that you are ill and healthy, please do it. It's not that doesn't mean that you're gonna die. You're not gonna die. You're gonna live longer.
Lórúkọ Jésù, lágbára Ọlọ́run.
I don't want my when I talked about discriminating me, that's because I don't want them to know what's something called the English word.
Coughing.
I just want them to get coughing, So they should just put it in that. I don't mind. I just think I don't want that. And the organs, I believe that when and I go, the organs, they are there for people that maybe they're sick and everything. They can give them life. I'll be happy to know that somebody is living. You can't, your organ will live or sorrow. You become bad again. You're gone. So if your organs can provide life for people behind, I don't mind them giving my organs to people. And when you mentioned that's the law in UK now. Once you don't think that you don't want your organ donated, automatically you have to donate your organ. But the moment you have ticked it off that please don't donate my organ, they won't touch your body. But if you don't think that, they will donate your organ because there's so many people in need of it. And not only that, we don't donate blood for sickle cell, for cancer patients. There's a lot of people that need blood donation. And Nigerians, we don't, be African, not Nigerian, we don't donate blood. Because I don't know why, maybe because of our time, or we don't have enough blood, or what. can do all this.
We just don't think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the main thing about this program.
Yeah.
All the life insurance, next of kin, everything, we don't think about it. And the people that die maybe tomorrow or today, they never thought they were going to die.
Benny.
They didn't know, but things happen. All this program that you're doing is for us to actually put our house in order.
Together. Put our house. God bless you. God bless you, sis. God bless you. When you are 85, we will see be here. When you are 90, we will see be here. Lórúkọ Jésù. Thank you, sis. God bless you. I appreciate. God bless. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's coming from the fabulous. Please, if you are wondering, let me share because this is the fabulous. We all know her. She said she has people that she can recommend that can help with the life insurance and everything. Putting our house in order. There's some mistakes that our fathers did. We don't want to do the same mistake. There's no point. I don't want to be honest with you, I'm really working, but still, you don't want everything that you have labored for to just, to just go anyhow like that. Let me accept this other person. Instagram, honestly, no, it's not letting me accept. Delicious. Are you here, ma? Are you here? God bless you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much. God bless you, ma.
I just called to buttress what the fabulous has said.
Yeah. Thank you, ma.
It's a very, very wonderful job.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
This topic that you have brought, a lot of people who are there will not buy at all. People don't even think it's necessary. With what the fabulous said concerning the life insurance, the writing, and all of this. We'll give life example to you. There is this man who happened to jail or real for me. But his wife had a life insurance in place. But Oyibo need Shepherd Oyibo won't bother. One thing that needs to be in place with this. Well, yeah, we are and somebody who can get a shock because Jesus Christ died at 33 years. So let's check. So, but the way you marry, what you're talking for. What the best I could have put on my cake to go back. Tó bá kú tó jẹ́ àgbàlagbà tó ń nà káàkiri títí tó ń pè gbànà bó ti yàwó yẹn lọ́sọ̀ ya yín mọ́lẹ̀ èwo ló buyè rè nínú anyway ìyàwó man tí mo sọ pé ọ̀rẹ́ ọkọ mi yẹn man died and she had a very very fat life insurance payout for the family. She got 2 kids for this Nigerian man pẹ̀lú ọkọ ẹ̀ wọ́n jẹ́ mẹ́ta. Sorry to say, okay, typical Nigerian man. When I say typical, you know what I mean. I will not die in Jesus' name. You didn't have life insurance in place. We will go do anything, but yeah, where she normal because Ojo Igbo. And I think she signed up for about 500,000. Only got only 200. I want one. We put only 150. 150,000. But on back so. Three of those one was actually high. No appeal, just like the fabulous said, sign up before you get ill. So the premium she was paying, I don't know, but Mama was okay. But unfortunately, along the line, she had cancer. The woman passed on. Mama was serious, but the low life for the Koya were the one waking it. Somebody that is being paid 200K. What's your one letter case? What's up among my house? Oh, yeah, what's a mortgage? What's up? What I put as their own my dad. What the big people punch me, who family in people in our grave. I want to
Thank you so much, ma. Ben. Ben.
Many people do not have no property. Really, we're not very important. When it's not all about property, it's about this is the way I want to be buried.
Yeah.
This is where I want to be buried.
Yeah.
Because I can go by the bed or things like that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma. People, thank you. God bless you, ma, for that powerful contribution. We appreciate you. Thank you, ma. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so sad that time is not always our friend on this show. Everybody has been saying things. The topic for tonight is to put your house in order. Putting your house in order as a couple, as individuals, as a person. Who is your next of kin? Have you written your will? Are you thinking about writing your will? If you can write it on your own, you can write it as every family is peculiar. Somebody said, why would anybody be in a marriage when you can't trust your spouse? Well, sometimes things happen. You have your reasons. But then do the right thing. Because sometimes it's not even just about the spouse you're living in, it's about the children you're leaving behind. We're talking about will writing, having what's it called? It's also about having life insurance and everything. Some people will die, people will start going for GoFundMe to bury them and all of that thing. You can relieve your family of that stress by having like funeral plan and all of that. All this thing do I have? No. This topic was dropped upon my heart, and I said to myself, after this topic, I need to go and put all these things in order. You know, if my husband is interested, to God be the glory. If he says no, there's nothing I can do about it. At least I can do my own. I have children that are over 18. What are your children? What do they know about you? And then for those of us that are watching from Nigeria, like here in the UK, if you own a house, you own a house. But then how much of the house do you own? You understand? Some people, when they pass on, they will suddenly realize that the mortgage that you have been paying since all these years is just, they have a way of calling it. Have understanding of what you're doing. And when you believe deposit it means automatic owner of the house. Not necessarily. I've seen people that own house for years and years, and they have not even paid the mortgage in 1/10, and they assume that they have been paying. Let's make inquiries. Let's find out. Let's check. For those of us back home, some people, they own properties, they own companies. Who do you put in your company that when you go that can take over? Is there anything like that? Even here, who do you put that can take over your company after you have gone? Then also in Nigeria as well, you see people die and they will just come and take over the company. They will say because the man has borrowed money from somewhere, but your family is not aware. Let them be aware. Let them know so that nothing catch them unaware. You know, all those things are so important. May the Lord help us. Like Yahweh Baba said, this is always not letting us no. You know, I believe we've learned one or two things here. I probably at one point, if I have the opportunity, I'll bring an expert. You know, I'll bring an expert in this topic that we're talking about at some point. If I happen to find someone that I trust, that I know that I can vouch for, that can come and talk about all this and that can enlighten us and talk from a professional point of view. Because so many people don't want to, not because they don't want to do it, but because they don't have an understanding of how to go about it, or they are afraid of being scammed. Yet to come on. No, it's not the same. It's not just like life car insurance. Sometimes when you want to claim, you start realizing a lot of things. So hopefully at some point I'll be able to find someone that will be able to come on this show to come and enlighten us more on this by the grace of God. Now, remember that I said I said that we are introducing a particular section to this show that is called WWYD. What would you do? Where people have been messaging me, they were asking me questions. Marriage counselor. You know, people just send me messages, and then I said one of these days I'll be bringing those topics on here. Let's talk about it. The one that somebody told me recently was that her friend's husband tried to woo her, as in and she doesn't know how to say it to her friend. So I said, okay, I will try it open in the next 2-3 minutes. What would you want that person to do? A friend of yours, her husband is always coming to you and you're saying no, the man kept on coming. Kò matter, ọ̀rẹ́ ẹni kò ṣe nǹkan kan, ṣebí kò ní mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ now, kò lè yé now, ṣó fẹ́ sọ fún ni, ṣó fẹ́ ṣe ni. Yeah, and this person is really worried. Kí ni kò ń ṣe? Òun ò lè sọ fún ọ̀rẹ́ òun because ọmọ bọ́ọ̀rẹ́ òun ṣe máa react. You know, don't say it though. You know, and I was so confused. I had to be like, really? And the person, he said, he's been on and on. Already, more than anyone. Because of that, she said she's drawn away from the family, like just like your Baba said. But already is someone that they've been friends together for so long. Someone said, don't say it. Anyway, I don't know if this person is watching this show at the moment, but even if she's not watching, I'm going to send her the link to have a look at this. Please, people, every week, I want your man message me. Me ni purọ́ fún yín. Mo command so fún wọn ni pé èmi ò ṣe marriage counselor. Ẹlòmíì máa gbọ́rọ̀ marriage wá sínú inbox mi, máa ní ha. Èmi ò máa mọ̀ kankan. Èmi náà máa wá sórí ètò ìgbéyàwó láti wá kọ́gbọ́n ni. But it crossed my mind that for people to be contacting me, maybe they feel that they will find solution to this. So I said every week now, I'll be bringing in those things one after the other where other people can shed light on it. So please, people, what should this person do? What would you do? Abala WWYD Lawayi. Abala, what would you do? So about a friend that her friend's her friend's husband is always coming to her. I didn't tell somebody said you should stay away from the family. Simple. Somebody said it has happened before. It has happened before. Only you. Somebody said it will turn against you. Somebody said just move away from the family. Move away from the family. Okay. And don't say it. Okay. Where do you think maybe we can also from your misbehave. Why did you say don't say it? Because you see, that's why it's always good to open. Because somebody like you know, that kind of thing. That's what I thought I would do. But people are saying don't say it. Okay. Eshema Bukenko was people. God bless you, ma. Oni ile ma daru. Okay, so the reason why I shouldn't say it to my friend, I mean, I don't know if the friend happened to kind of find out somehow, what will I now do? How will I now tell the person, no, Tony, toast me, but me first of all, what would the person now say? Someone said they will sort it out between them, and you will be the bad one. Okay, I'm just hoping that this person is watching this segment. If not, I would kind of send the link to her to watch. And by the grace of God, every week I'll be bringing this Abala WWYD. What would you do? I'll be bringing it for just 5-10 minutes towards the end of this show, where people are messaging me. They will just message me. Emi ma send me voice notes. Emi ma send me text. If I want to put down your team show me come down command any marriage counselor or my friend down alone here. But me able to me okay, even if you're not a married counselor, bring it here. And then when you're to money, I want to judge or modualo, see what too modualo, and then come back with that. And that's why okay, somebody said have evidence in the background. That's a good one. You can kind of record the person secretly in case I like that. Somebody said Kole Wemo, she must move away. Somebody said okay, ma, that's true. So people, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This is why it's good to open up, you know. This person has probably been suffering in silence, and she was telling me that she really cherished her friendship with that person and blah blah blah. But no matter how much you cherish your friendship, I think you should also protect yourself first, you know, because somebody like that, so please, if you're watching this show, majority have said stay away from the family. Don't say it. Somebody don't have evidence, man, you will destroy the home. Okay, I think the most important thing and the best thing that people have said here is don't say it to the wife. Move away from the family as much as you can. Even no matter how much you cherish the family, no matter how much you cherish the friendship, you have to find a way of staying away from that person. Somebody said from experience, I want one day sorry, yeah, well, you shall go to me, one material, because you Baba so ni o found of me. Mo nǹkan tá fẹ́ ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. nítorí pé ní ọ̀sẹ̀ báyìí òun ló máa ń wuni ká jẹran pẹ́lẹ́nu àmọ́ òun fanu fún yìí náà ṣáá ni òun fanu fún yìí ni kò ní gbà fún wa àmọ́ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ṣe rán pé àwọn Yorùbá náà ni wọ́n tún pòwe tí wọ́n sọ wípé kì í dùn kó pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kì í pọ̀ kó dùn ṣókí báyìí òun lọ bẹ oge àní jù báyìí lọ lórí ètò yìí lé ní ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lílọ lèmi Olúwabùnmi lọ yìí ogun lọ kò dé kò ní jẹ́ tèmi ogun ó dé kò bá wọn kò ní jẹ́ titi yín lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run mi ò ní dúró fún kankan nínú yín fún ìṣẹ́jú kan lórí ètò yìí lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ayọ̀ ìdùnnú àlàáfíà àti ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ tí mo fi yín sí ní ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí òun náà ni màá tún dé padà wá bá yín ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ wọ́n á fi àsìkò yìí sọ fún gbogbo wa wípé láyọ̀láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o mo ní láyọ̀láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o ẹ̀yin ò ní forí gún èmi ò ní fẹsẹ̀ kọ mọ́tò yòówù ká lè wọ̀ kó ní forí sọ̀gì o láyọ̀láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé láyọ̀láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Thank you so much everybody for your support. I appreciate you. God bless you. Bye. Thank you.
Traditional wedding. Gbogbo lójú fẹ̀rẹ̀ ń retí rẹ̀. Traditional wedding. Ẹ̀bùn lóríṣiríṣi.
Okay, this Instagram said have evidence just in case.
Traditional wedding. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó bọ̀ nínú ọgbọ́n.
Abukia, thank you for joining. Yeah, well, Baba, thank you. And Simona, thank you so much. Instagram, thank you. Hey.
Every Tuesday on Instagram, every Tuesday on Facebook, 6 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday on Facebook. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye.
Let's talk traditional wedding. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you. See you next week by the special grace of God. Bye.